Good, thanks. So on social media, you were pretty open about your cooking, and you started a little series for fans called Kel's Kitchen. Tell us about where that concept came up, why you wanted to do it, and how much fun you had with it.
Um, the concept really kind of formed itself. It was just during the quarantine, and when the quarantine started, I was basically not leaving my house at all because I didn't know no one knew what this was going to be, how long it was going to be, the severity. So I basically went to the grocery store and bought a whole bunch of groceries and just kind of hunkered down. And I started making stuff, and I had a lot of time, so I started kind of just filming it and having fun with it. And then people started messaging me like, "Oh, you got to make this into a show or an idea or whatever." And so I kind of brought up the idea of Kel's Kitchen and kind of just ran with it. And I had a ton of fun with it. And I'm still doing it, just not as frequently. Obviously, the funny thing is the more you do it, you kind of run out of things to do.
Mm.
But it's been awesome. It's been fun. People have really liked it, and I've had great feedback off it. I think one of the things is, for me, it was just showing people that you can cook, and you don't need to. When you look up a recipe, sometimes it has 20, 30 ingredients, and it's like a pinch of this, a dash of this, and if you can keep it pretty simple with 4 or 5 ingredients and have great tasting food. And I think that was one of the things that people kind of wrote back and said, I loved it, you inspired me. I tried it out, and it's been great.
Thanks.
Hey, Kelly, it's good to see you. Um, with everything going on in the world, and then the nature of this bubble that's going to be, restrictive in quite a few ways on you guys. Seems like the way that teams and players are going to be able to kind of keep an even keel and stay mentally stable through this whole thing is going to be an advantage if they can do that versus some other teams. How do you think you're going to be able to do that during this time, and how do you think the rest of the team will be able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, like you said, it's being able to stay even keel and in a mentally good place is definitely something that'll be advantageous in this going forward. For me, um, you know, for this quarantine, I've kind of just been hunkering down, locked down here, not doing too much. So I think the the Orlando thing is kind of simple. Like when it boils down to it, it's pretty simple. My family's up in Canada. I haven't like no friends have been coming really to visit or anything. So that's been it's not like I've been it's not changing the last 4 months. You're kind of doing the same thing, just not in your own house. So I think for me, I'm just going in there thinking that I'm basically doing the same thing I did the last 4 months, but I'm in a different room. So it's you still have obviously we're blessed to live in a time period, an era where we have cell phones and FaceTime and computers and Zoom and all these things to stay connected with family and friends and keep keep in touch. So obviously we'll have a bunch of time to do that when we're there, and then you're still there to work and do a job, and when you're there you're lucky because you get to play the game you love to play. That's what a lot of us right now are missing, is that we're missing what we're passionate about in life. And I think that's something that knows will be brought back to us, which is something to look forward to.
Could the structure in some way be helpful, just in terms of it seems like the NBA has everything so regimented to create a routine day to day? Will that help you guys, just that what to expect and what every day is going to look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely helps. I mean, I think a lot of our lives is routine based, especially during the season. Um, so I think that that definitely helps. It definitely keeps you focused and keeps you busy and keeps you sane, I guess, when you're going through these things and thinking that we have stuff to do and we'll be all right. We're not just sitting there waiting for a 2-hour time slot to play a game, and then you're waiting the next 48 hours, in a room. So, yeah, I think, having a routine and getting back into the swing of things and, just being able to interact with, your teammates and friends, in person, because, you really haven't been able to do that. So just human interaction will also be, an upside.
Thank you.
Hey, Kelly. What do you think going into this atmosphere? You got a guy with a ton of playoff experience. What do you think of the playoff setting is going to carry over and not have that atmosphere? How much is that going to change things?
It'll definitely be different. It'll be a huge change. It'll be interesting because obviously, some of the younger guys and guys who've never been in the playoffs, they don't know the other side of it. So it'll be different though. Obviously home court advantage is no longer a thing. It's kind of just a neutral site now that you're going through. So for us, I think, you're going to prepare the same way. You're going to get ready. You're going to be ready. And, when the time comes, you got your opportunity to make something happen. But, in terms of, the atmosphere and, whether it's fan noise or travel or hotels or, that's all going to be neutralized. And so it'll be really interesting to see how it all plays out.
And then you physically, coming into the season a little bit banged up, you're starting to look more as yourself as the season was going on. So was the stop in the season, was it good because it feels like you could get more recovery on it, or did you want to keep the groove of how things were going for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was starting to play well there as it, the shutdown happened. I was shooting the ball real well. I think, when you're a basketball player, it's kind of like, you always want to stay in that groove and stay in that moment. But, you also, you can't worry about that kind of thing. So you just got to be ready when you start back up. And I think for me, I was definitely banged up at the beginning of the season. Probably wasn't fully, my body wasn't fully, recovered and ready to roll. But I think I, got better and my body feels better than ever right now. I think this is, I feel like it's almost like the beginning of the season. So, I'm in good shape right now. We've been working, on, in quarantine by ourselves a bunch, and, it's been good. I mean, it's been really good.
Thank you.
You're up.
Thanks, TD. Hey, KO.
Hey.
Kel's Kitchen, by the way, was appointment viewing during the shutdown, so we appreciate the content. Thank you.
No worries.
I got two questions. The first one, I kind of want to follow on the last question that Brendan just asked you a little bit. Obviously, around game 60, 65, everybody's kind of dealing with something at that point. And obviously, for guys like Nurk and Zach Collins, people like that, they really benefited from this time off. But you think it's fair to say that while the shutdown obviously wasn't ideal for anybody, like for the most part, everyone should be coming into this pretty close to 100% just by nature of the beast of the shutdown?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, this is almost like I said, it's like coming in whatever it is, the end of September for training camp. I mean, everybody is, for the most part, should be healthy, right? People aren't playing right now. There's no national team stuff or anything where people, no one's really even doing pickup or whatever you do in the summer where you could tweak an ankle, right? So it's like everybody should be, ready to rock and roll. And I think that, like you said, for the guys who, whether it's our team or other teams who, had injuries that probably would have held them out during the playoffs, or at least the end of the regular season, now they're probably back and healthy. So it kind of changes the whole dynamic a little bit, but it's nice when everybody's healthy and ready to roll, especially, on your own team. And, it makes it an even playing field for league wide.
And the other question I wanted to ask you, Kelly, I know we're focused on the here and now and this season, but when you look at next year, they're talking about a December start. That means we're probably not ending in April. That means the finals probably aren't ending in June. I know you've been part of Team Canada in the past. Do you think there's even going to be an opportunity for NBA guys to represent their country next summer?
You know what? I hadn't thought about that till you just said that.
Sorry.
But yeah, now that you say that, it might be tough. Yeah, because I guess they pushed the qualifying back to the end of June, and then the Olympics is now August next summer.
Olympics are the same window, like that. July, August, but
yeah, that's
like the last week of June. This qualifier.
Yeah, that'll be really, really tough. It'll probably line up with guys who don't make the playoffs, which is obviously you don't want to be on one of those teams, but yeah, that'll be tough. Yeah, I didn't think of that till now, but it'll be really tough for guys to play in that, especially if you start in December and who knows? It might not even be December we start, right? It could be even later. So
I know it's tough to forecast because guys, I mean, everybody's gonna have a different decision to make, but there's a lot of free agents next summer.
right.
Do you think that could be a factor as well? Will guys want to take that risk?
Yeah, definitely it'll be a factor because it'll be, before free agency now, or at least during it. Yeah, I mean, you got to look at your career and your livelihood and your earning potential or your earning window or whatever you want to call it. And that's definitely those are definitely a factor because you need that security in your life. As much as playing for your country is a super prideful thing, and guys take that really to heart. Maybe maybe it'll be a little break. Don't they have that in like soccer where they have like breaks in the season for stuff? I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Thanks, Kale.
David Romley, you're up.
Hey, Kelly. I was just wondering, obviously you've worked on your fitness since you joined the team and you're a well-known foodie. Obviously you've been eating well during the quarantine. Did you find it a particular challenge for you to maintain your weight with a general level of inactivity?
That's a good question. Maintain your weight up or down? Yeah, I think, it's tough, I guess, but it's not like overly difficult, I guess. I would say, I ended up getting a stationary bike. So I've been biking almost every single day, doing home workouts, workouts outside, running, whatever. And as far as the food, it kind of gives you an opportunity to cook and realize what goes into the food you're eating and, what your body needs. A lot of times when you go out, out to eat or you're eating, even if you're eating at the arena or, at the hotels, you don't know exactly what they're putting in the food. I mean, like a dish of broccoli could come out that's cooked in butter and oil and whatever. And, when you make it at home, if you just, if you cook it without stuff, you're eating just broccoli. So, in terms of cooking at home, I think, the biggest thing is, I know what's going in my food. So I know whether I'm making it healthy or not healthy. And, so that's been huge in being able to maintain my weight or, if I want to put weight on or take it off or do whatever. And then, obviously the strength and conditioning stuff here, learned a lot over the last 3 years being here, and how to, kind of manage my body and make sure that I'm in the best shape I can be. And, making sure that, I do what I need to maintain that.
You.
Reed, you're up.
Me, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Kelly, Eric Reed, good to see you. Glad you're doing well. Wanted to ask you your thoughts on the team. After we made the trade to bring in Andre Iguodala, Solomon Hill, and Jay Crowder, you had injuries to Tyler Hero and Myers Leonard. Now, with everybody back, on paper, it looks like the deepest, best team we've had all year. How do you foresee it all coming together? And how do you feel about your group now that it's complete and intact?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a great group of guys. I think we brought in 3 great guys, great people, really hard workers and, guys who can contribute, to winning. And I think that's huge for us. I think it's, we got, like you said, a really, really deep team, and it could be anybody on any given night, and it could be anybody in the rotation, and you have no clue what it's going to be. But, for us right now, it's, about being, a cohesive unit, staying strong, staying together, and, going through this. You never know in a regular NBA season, like you said, when someone's going to get hurt or go down or miss this or that. And you need that depth to be able to, shore up whatever it is. Whether it's injuries or absences or whatever. And, even in this, now you're going into a bubble, and, if someone, gets injured or knocked out or maybe has to quarantine, you need that depth. So, I think for us, it's huge that we have that depth right now. And, as long as we can stick together and stay together, and, I know Spo will do an unbelievable job with that, like he always does.
Kelly, what kind of stationary bike are you working out on at home?
I'm using Peloton.
Yes.
Yeah, Peloton. Riding those classes and stuff. When I'm at the arena, I always used to ride the espresso bike. Which is unbelievable. I loved it, and I got in the quarantine and got a Peloton, and now I've just been riding that.
Yeah, I've had a Peloton for a little over a year, and I love it. Who's your favorite trainer to ride with?
I like Alex Toussaint. I think he's unbelievable. Really motivational. But I like mixing it up. I like, a lot of people have different styles. There's that one girl, I think her name is Tunye. She's tough. Yeah. She's really good. But they're all really good. And the thing about bikes or anything is, it's as hard as you make it, right? So you could take anybody's class and make it as tough as you want. And so I really like it. I enjoy it. It's a challenge for me.
Great. Good luck in August, and we'll see you out there.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Kelly, it's Ira. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, I know it's sort of a weird timing, but even Evan Fournier said this yesterday. He said, the beauty of having an option year now is if something happens in Orlando, hey, I got an extra year on my contract. If not, I can make that decision. How odd has this whole sort of opt-out process been for you when the reality is you otherwise would have had to have done it by now? So what are you thinking about that process? And honestly, have you given that some thought, or had you, when you thought it was going to be June 29th?
Yeah, obviously, no, I hadn't given it any thought. And then, when this all happened, obviously you're like, okay, if the date doesn't move, I guess I'm opting in. I mean, what else is going to happen? You don't even know what's going on here, if the NBA is even going to come back. But obviously that's all pushed back, and I haven't really thought about it as of yet. Obviously we'll see what happens down in Orlando, and you still have that option. Options are always good. Anytime you have an option in anything in life, you have multiple choices, and you can make the decision that best fits yourself.
What goes into that decision at this point in your career? Would it be more about playing time? Would it be about lifestyle? Would it be about camaraderie, or would it be about money?
I think it's a melting pot. I don't think it's any one thing that influences the decision. I think it's all of those cumulative that forces you, or not forces you, but allows you to make the decision that you see best fit. Obviously, money plays a role, but obviously opportunity plays a role, and obviously quality of life plays a huge role. Whether it's where you're playing, or who you're playing with, or for, or beside, or location, proximity. There's so many things that go into it, and I think that you can't peg it down to just one thing. And that's really what it's all about, is having that option, and weighing out the pros and cons of whether you take it or don't take it, and know what's best for you.
But not opting out to become a full-time chef, correct?
Not yet. I'm trying to pave that into post-career, but we'll see what happens. I might have to. Yeah, there's like player coaches. Maybe I'll be like a player chef. Like I can,
Thanks, Kelly.
Multiple streams of income, Kelly. It's critical.
There you go, right? Get in a couple hours early, make the pregame meal, and then go and warm up.
Absolutely. A question about Cohesion. You guys had like warp speed chemistry coming out of training camp, and also after the trade. Do you expect that again?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you think of chemistry, obviously it takes a little bit of time, but when you have good people and guys who want to play together, want to play for each other, that's what creates chemistry quickly. When guys are kind of on an island or solo, or out for different reasons or their own things, it's a little different. But I think because we have such a great locker room, and we have a cohesive unit, a cohesive group, and obviously from the top down, with management and coaching and all that, we have great people in this organization. I think that really helps.
Kellen, just as a follow-up with all of that, have you ever been to the ESPN Wide World of Sports to even know what you're anticipating in that unique space that you'll be practicing, or assume some shoot-arounds, and obviously your games?
I think I might have. I think in college there was like a tournament there, but I don't know if it's the same place. It was like the Old Spice Classic when we went. I don't know if it was. I don't know. Someone would have to help me out if it's the same place, but definitely haven't been to everything that they showed us or where all the names they're throwing out of hotels and arenas and stuff. It's foreign to me, so we'll see it when we get there, and I'm sure they've done an impeccable job at making it our home.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, Kelly, Spo was kind of ridiculous Spo about this when he was asked the other day. He said he's going to play it kind of by feel, but what do you think training camp is going to need to look like? I know you guys need to play 5-on-5 and you're going to need to get your game legs back, but do you think you need stuff like a half a day on offensive install, a half a day on defensive, stuff like that? Do you need a training camp?
I'm sure you're going to need a little bit of refresher. I don't know how good everybody's memory is, but I'm sure there's a chance that someone forgot one of the whatever 50, 60 plays we have. So I'm sure we're going to have to go over a few things. Maybe put in some new stuff. I mean, I'm sure this time off is giving the coaches a little time to reflect and brainstorm and think and come up with new schemes and plans that they're going to want to input and install as well. I think they're not just going to come back with the same stuff that we were doing 4 months ago. I'm sure that they're always looking to improve and to keep moving forward. So I'm sure that there's other stuff that they want to install that we haven't even been brought to our attention yet.
Thanks.
Kelly, the organization as a whole really made an impact in the community during the quarantine. What were some of the ways that you were trying to give back, and why was it important for you guys to make sure that the city of Miami knew that even during this pandemic that you were still a part of it?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome to see, how many people were supporting each other. Obviously UD was doing unbelievable stuff. The Heat as a whole were doing stuff. For me, I did my stuff more under the radar, silently, just trying to give back wherever I could. Donating meals. Obviously it's hard when you can't. I didn't go out into the community, as much as some of the other people did, but just lending, donating meals and lending money where you can. One of the things I did was just try and support local businesses, any ways that you could, and try and encourage others to do so as well.